In the previous video, we talked about all accessories that shall be installed on the suction piping from fire water tank to fire pumps, including vortex plate, OS and Y gate valve, strainers, suction header, centric reducers based on the actual fire pump selection. And I missed the talk about the flexible connection. The purpose of using a flexible coupling or connection between the piping and the fire pump is to correct any misalignment between the center line of pump suction and the piping. During installation, there may be some misalignment between piping and the fire pump. To correct this misalignment, flexible coupling or flexible connection manufactured or made from stainless steel usually used. And the use of stainless steel is preferred because other materials like rubber will rust or fail with time during operation and during the or due to the excessive pressures, especially in the discharge. So the flexible coupling shall be installed in both suction and discharge, and it shall be made or preferred to be made from stainless steel, and its pressure rating shall be according to the system maximum pressure in the discharge side, which may in some situations reaches to 24 or above 20 bars. Now I will talk about the orientation of the fire pump, as I mentioned in the previous video. And we have to know that according to NFPA 20, horizontal pump shaft rotation is an important factor. If we look at the fire pump, how to determine the suction flange and the discharge flange? To differentiate between them, you have to stop at the motor end or the driver end. You will find that the suction is in the same direction of rotation as shown here. This arrow indicates the rotation direction. Here it is to the right, so you will find the suction in this side. And this most manufacturers provide the fire pumps with this rotation. يعني هنلاقي معظم المصنعين بيديك ان اتجاه الدوران هيبقى ناحية اليمين، يعني clockwise rotation. هنلاقي السكشن الناحية دي والديسشارج الناحية التانية. ده أغلب المصنعين هيدونا الفاير بامبز بالمنظر ده. Other manufacturers provide the suction or the direction of rotation is counterclockwise. So you will find the suction discharge at this location and the discharge at the opposite side or in the opposite side. This parameter is important, as I mentioned, because it determines the exact location of the foundation of the fire pump. Also, the pump curves, the head against to the flow rate, shall be reviewed by the contractor and the supplier. According to NFPA 20 or 20, it is preferred to provide a fire pump curve with a steep curve, horizontal steep curve. This means that any variation in flow rate will not affect the discharge head with a great amount. We have electrical pump. عندنا لمبة كهرباء، لمبة جوكي or maintenance pump، وعندنا الديزل pump. الهدف الرئيسي من الجوكي pump، the main purpose of using jockey pump is to maintain the pressure inside the system. عشان يعوض أي ليكج هيحصل في الشبكة، أي ليكج هيحصل نتيجة تسريب أو سبرينكلر فتح بالغلط، الجوكي بامب هتعوض التسريب ده. The main purpose of using the jockey pump is to maintain the pressure in the system due to any leakage or opening of sprinkler, or any leakage of small amount of water from the network will be maintained by the jockey pump. The curve of the diesel fire pump is slightly different from the electrical pump because the operation is not the same. Diesel pump depends on the diesel fuel to operate, and it shall be provided with a diesel tank, daily tank, sized according to the horsepower of the system. For each 1 horsepower of the diesel fire pump, there shall be 1 gallon of fuel storage. This is according to NFPA 20. يعني لما بنيجي نعمل سايزنج للديزل فيول تانك، يبقى لكل 1 حصان 1 هورس باور بيقابله 1 جالون of fuel storage. وناخد بالنا طبعا من البايبنج السبلاي والريتيرن ما بين الديزل فاير بامب والديزل تانك. هو ده كده الفيول سبلاي، وده الفيول ريتيرن. In the discharge side of the fire pumps, there shall be centric reducers covered with staggered side in the upper side, flexible connection, as I mentioned, to adjust any misalignments between the pump and piping. Then we shall find a check valve and OS and Y gate valve in the discharge of side, preferred to be in the vertical position. In the vertical position here, the horizontal run starts from here to here. Then there is a change in elevation between this horizontal pipe and this one. In the vertical riser, we will first install a check valve, then a gate valve. يعني هنلاقي على الرايزر ده جيت فالف وتشيك فالف. وظيفة التشيك فالف، the purpose of the check valve to prevent the water to return back to the fire pump and to cause any counterclockwise operation or and to prevent the damage of fire pumps. The backflow of water may damage the impeller of the fire pump. Then this is the horizontal discharge pipe, the horizontal discharge pipe or header. Will go to the system inside the building or the network, but it shall be provided with alarm check valve. The purpose of the alarm check valve to indicate any water flow in the system. In case of fire, you need any warning to indicate that there is a fire. The best solution or the best uh, method to determine there is a fire is to use a check valve with alarm. And it's preferred also to be installed in a vertical position. This is the exhaust muffler of the diesel fire pump, and it shall be sized according to the manufacturer recommendation. Usually, its size equals to the size of the exhaust opening from the diesel fire pump, but in some situations, you have to change the size based on the horizontal distance it travels till it gets out from the pump house or pump room. According to NFPA 20, if the horizontal run of the muffler exceeds 4.5 meters, 4.5 meters, its size shall be increased by at least one pipe size. This means if the size of this opening is 4 inches, the size of the muffler will go to 5 inches. يعني لو مقاس الاكزوست مافلر ده او مقاس الاوبننج دي مثلا 4 انش، يبقى مقاس المافلر ده لو هيمشي اكتر من 4.5 متر بيزيد مقاس، يعني يبقى 5 بوصة. هنا طبعا الجوكي بامب اهي على الديسشارج في تشيك فالف وجيت فالف زي ما قلنا. اللي تشيك الاول بعد كده جيت. From the discharge header, a common pipe will return back the flow to the tank. It should be used during the test time. In testing the fire pumps, we have to install a Venturi type flow meter. It is missed here. This is the test line, and its size is according to this table. Yeah, this table. The table I mentioned in the previous video shows all the sizes of test line, test valve, discharge header, and pressure relief line. For the test line, we have to install a Venturi type flow meter, not shown in this drawing. and it shall be followed by OS and Y, or OS and Y gate valve shall be installed prior and after the Venturi type load. In some situations, according to NFPA 20, a test hose terminates outside a test hose header shall be installed and terminates outside the building for testing purpose. Okay. Then I will talk about the pressure relief line for the diesel fire pump. We have to install a pressure relief line in the discharge pipe. This pressure relief valve or line uh, takes the excess water due to excessive pressures above the designed or the required discharge pressure back to the fire water tanks. This is a pressure relief valve with a waste cone. Prefer to use this type according to NFPA 20. And the size, as I mentioned, the size of the pressure relief line is according to the table in NFPA 20. Finally, I will talk about the control panels. Control panels for each fire pump, there shall be a controller or control panel with a pressure switch to indicate the status of each pump during testing or during the fire time. You have to check the pressure and the flow of each pump. This can be monitored in these control panels. Each control panel have a pressure switch with a sensing line connects the discharge pipe with each control panel. The sizing of the sensing line, the size of the sensing line, according to NFPA 20, is 15 millimeter, and it should be or shall be from stainless steel. This diagram shows, as I mentioned, in the testing line. عندنا هنا we have a water meter وبنحط قبله OS and Y وبعده OS and Y, and we have to confirm the minimum distance between the meter and any valve before and between the valve and any between the water meter and any valve before and after the meter. This figure also shows the hose header as an auxiliary method of testing the discharge from the fire pumps. We also can find it here in the suction line from the supply. If the supply from external network, external water pressurized water network, you can test the flow rate and the demand using this test header. It can also be installed between the check valve and OS and Y gate valve of the fire pumps. Uh, Here we can find the diagram of the sensing line between the pressure switch or the control panel pressure switch and the location between the check valve and the gate valve on the discharge pipe. يعني ما بين البريشر سنسنج لاين بنحطه ما بين التشيك فالف والجيت فالف، يبقى الكونكشنز بتاعته بتتاخد من هنا او مبينه ان هي متاخده من هنا، وبيمشي لحد البريشر سويتش جوه الكنترول بانل، مقاسه 15 مللي من البراس اور الستانلس ستيل. ولازم طبعا بيبقى ليه drain connection shall be installed for this line during the maintenance time. Is also an indication the connection of the pressure sensing line starts from this location between the check and OS and Y gate valves and terminates to the fire pump controller pressure switch. Uh, Finally, we will talk about that the fire pump room shall be drained using a trench pressure drain preferred to be attached to the wall between the tank and the pump house. So for any leakage or water leakage in the fire pump house, it will be drained using the trench, and this trench shall terminate to the drain network. And if the level of the fire pump house is under the ground level, a sump pit or submersible pump set shall be used to pressurize the drainage or the drained water to the external network. So in this video, part 2, we talked about all the accessories and components of the fire pump room in the discharge site.